All right, a new comic book day is here, and this week was absolutely loaded. We have Doom Quest. Doom is on the Titanic. The Ultimate Universe is taking its final bow. It is done. After this, we have two absolute fantastic Absolute Universe titles with Superman and Wonder Woman. Absolute Superman is going to be very interesting. Maybe we get a mystery character, maybe not. It depends. Solicitation is kind of a little murky from that standpoint. But basically, going to be talking about my top five most anticipated books for this week with some honorable mentions. My name is Lou, a part of the Midnight Comic Society. So happy you're here. Let's get into it. All right, so basically, the first book we're going to be talking about is Captain America number 12. Again, this is written by Chip Zdarsky, and Valerio Schiti is going to be on art for this one. Listen, basically, the solicitation for this one is Cap, he's frozen in hell after S.H.I.E.L.D.'s campaign in Latveria meets a brutal and violent end. Captain America finds himself in the last place he expected to be, alongside the last person he expected to see again. Where has Victor Von Doom been since the fall of Doom, and what does he want with Steve Rogers? Find out here as everything hurtles towards Armageddon. Now, the interesting thing is, we did get the first issue of Avengers Armageddon. So basically, this is another lead into the big event and really issue two. We know that Red Hulk, he's kind of been going through and just destroying Latveria. But this issue apparently is where we're going to see some more Doom and Cap and what Zdarsky's been building since this initial arc. I think he did say that he wanted Doom and Cap to meet again because their dynamic was incredibly fun, and he did promise that it changes both characters long term. So, with the tie-in event, with this specific issue, starting this new story, I don't know what the payoff's going to be. I'm very intrigued to see what Zdarsky's doing. It feels like he really wants to push some of these characters in kind of a new direction. The Dave Coltons of the world, obviously Cap Doom. So we'll see what changes for these characters specifically. Coming up for number 4, we have Fireborn issue number 3, written by Kurt Perez, Patrick Mulholland on art. Basically, as Aaron bonds with his new mentor and begins to understand the lineage of Fireborn, a deadly new adversary closes in to finish things for good. Will Aaron be able to fend them off, or will this deadly new villain claim the power of Fireborn as his own? The third chapter of the smash hit high octane fantasy superhero mashup is here. I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is a really good story. And if you're saying that this is indie story of the year so far, I do not blame you at all whatsoever. I loved issue 1. It was solid. Issue 2 was solid. I think issue 1 got a second printing and might be on its third printing. But we do get in this issue apparently a new anti-hero, Necros. First appearance. So, I mean, again, I just think it's a fantastic book. I think it's a fantastic book. But I think Fireborn is doing something very interesting right now where you have it labeled as a superhero book, but it does feel like a blending of different genres. You have it spinning off of the Lost Fantasy world, but then giving it that superhero kind of run. A lot of people compare it to Invincible. It's just good. It honestly just good. It feels like it's back to basics, back to roots. I like the Invincible comparison, but to be honest with you, I don't. This very much feels like it could be a manga, 100%. So issue number 3, we'll see. Fireborn's doing really good so far. For number 3, I have Zatanna issue number 3, the goats, the trifecta, the just amazing Jamal Campbell, who is writing and obviously doing the art for this. But basically, I mean, I have to start this solicitation backwards. Danger. That's how I have to read everything for Zatanna. Danger. Downed by a bullet enchanted with unknown magic, Zatanna is in dire straits. Can she survive by tapping into her newfound power as the prime magus of the universe? Meanwhile, Agent Domains of the Department of Occult Affairs is preparing his own grand finale, one that will show Zatanna exactly where he stands. So listen, y'all, if you didn't know, in issue 1 of this, which again is an ongoing series after Jamal Campbell did a mini series for Zatanna, but Zatanna is the prime magus in DC. And basically, that means that she's the person who's going to be in charge of kind of overseeing all of the magic in the universe. So it's interesting to see, how she handles things. I don't necessarily know where Jamal Campbell is going to go, but he did say, "What is a Pride Magus?" And he's kind of like putting that question out in front of us. We'll find out in issue 4, apparently. So this is kind of the last issue to set up for us to kind of come to our own conclusions of, what that Prime Magus kind of looks like, from Jamal Campbell's perspective. And again, I wouldn't trust any other person to have Zatanna except for him. So I love this one, especially visually. I will tell you, this book looks really good. I'm excited to see just kind of the dialogue, just how much personality Jamal Campbell puts into the character of Zatanna. It's on full display, so we'll see where this goes. Is there some more darker things that come out? I think there's some hidden darkness that's in this book that I think could shake it up. So we'll see. Issue 3 sounds like it's going to be really good. Issue 4 is something we have to anticipate. Now, number 2, second most anticipated book this week, Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 21. We have Kelly Thompson who's writing this, and then we do have a guest artist, Dylan Snook, who is on this. And basically, a harsh reality comes to light. Diana's worst nightmare comes to light. The Heron finds a new host. Barbara faces a harsh reality. Kale loses control. I'm going to be honest, Veronica Cale has been one of the best villains in the Absolute Universe, bar none. I am very excited to see kind of what paths Kelly Thompson is going to put Diana, Barbara, and then obviously Veronica Cale on. But with the whole thing of the Huron finding a new host, basically there's supposed to be some status quo shift for, not only this book, but maybe it expands beyond this and it really kind of shakes up the Absolute Universe. So I'm very interested to see for these 2 parts what's going to happen. But I will say Dylan Snook, he's been doing some redesign work on Diana. We were at the Absolute panel in Charlotte at Heroes Con, and we got a reveal for what that looks like. So we'll have to see. I know Hayden Sherman's doing a lot of great stuff on it, but basically the whole thing for this book, though, if I had to sum it up, is it feels like there's a shift of, if you remove a lot of what we knew that was established with these characters, you kind of take away their safety net. What does that look like for them in the future? So a little bit of deviation. We'll see how they deliver on kind of the new concepts, but so far so good. Really, really good with Absolute Wonder Woman. And then number 1, my most anticipated, tons of people's most anticipated book of the entire week, Absolute Superman issue number 20. Jason Aaron on this as the writer, Rafa Sandoval doing beautiful work on art. But yeah, Absolute Superman's greatest battle yet. It's Superman versus King Shazam versus Hawkman versus, and apparently redacted. I don't know what that necessarily means. I'm assuming it was supposed to be Absolute Steel. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm pulling all this stuff from League of Comic Geeks. That's where I kind of look for everything, if not DC.com. But yeah, it got redacted. So I don't know what that necessarily means. But in the greatest battle the Absolute Universe has ever seen, but who is their mystery challenger? I'll be honest. This is sitting at number 1, not because the solicitation gives us, something to mull over, if you will. But it built the hype, like, without doing too much. To me, that's a telltale sign of the book can just show a cover and just kind of flash a cover, and that's hype alone. So this, I'll be honest with you, what they do with this after what they did in issue 19 is, I think it will either put it in the tier that Absolute Batman is in, or I don't want to say set it back, but if this underwhelms, I'll be very, very interested to see how they recover, because I don't know any other book right now that has so many super characters in a story that has been so good through 20 issues like this. I don't know. But let's get into the honorable mentions. A few books that I wanted to make sure that we cover. Some books of here I may not be getting, but Hero Scroll is going to be getting, so he'll be covering those. So check that out here on YouTube or go to our TikToks. We do daily posting on there as well. But basically, we have Ultimate Endgame number 5. This is a series finale for Marvel. Basically, it's going to say the end of the line. The universe hangs by a thread as our weary heroes face their final crushing challenge, the ultimate cataclysmic showdown with the Maker. There are no more retreats, no more second chances. This is the end of the Ultimate Universe relaunch. This is a 5-issue finale closing out everything that Hickman and the line's subsequent writers built since 2023. Very, I'm not going to say sad, but I'm very interested to see what y'all think, how people, especially Hero Scroll, what he's thinking. I know he's not the biggest fan of this book. But yeah, one and done. We'll talk more about this when it comes to August, just a couple months away for Midnight, and Hickman and the Midnight X-Men as well. And then we have Infernal Hulk, Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein on that together. Earth's mightiest heroes reunite to stop Infernal Hulk, leading them deep within the Earth, where they find an ancient weapon that could save humanity from another age of monsters, featuring the return of Scar, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I actually didn't know that about this. Okay, I'm even a little more hyped. I'm a little more hyped. So technically, Infernal Hulk will be wrapping at issue 10. This arc is going to feed directly into Philip Kennedy Johnson's next part of the story that he's doing. I believe that's Hulk War. So I mean, I guess jump on this now. Maybe wait for trades. I think this is a good book to wait on the trade for potentially. It's not too bad. If you haven't read any of Infernal Hulk and you haven't read The Incredible Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson, I would go back and do that. You get 30 some odd issues of a fantastic story. One of my favorite recent, modern takes on the Hulk character. Really enjoyed that. Infernal has been really, really good so far. Couple other honorable mentions that I did want to throw out there. We have Venom 259. Al Ewing is writing that. We're close to the Queen in Black event that's coming up, and then Carlos Gomez on art. But basically, and I can't necessarily get down with this yet. This is why I'm exploring this. This is truly a book that I will be getting to see, not because I'm excited about it, but I'm just very curious about this book and kind of what they do. But basically, Venom J, which I don't love, Venom J gets an all-new look. A face from Venom's past is back from the dead with a warning that could mean the end of the world. Meanwhile, Dylan Brock makes a decision and the Venom family may never be the same. So in this, and I think at the end of last issue in 258, we saw that the symbiote basically got redesigned for Mary Jane in that issue. So we're going to get a full look kind of in action here. And then Dylan Brock, again, a decision that's going to shake, the Venom family dynamic. We'll see. We'll see what it is. Again, not anticipating too much from that. Again, just curious. And then a couple other books here. One, Corpse Night, issue number 3. This is an Image book done by Michael Chavez, Matthew Robert on art. Basically, saved by unexpected allies, Foy learns the myth of the monster that walks beside her, but is her father still somewhere in there? I enjoyed issue number 2 much more than I did issue number 1. I can kind of see a little bit more how this is going to feel a little more dynamic and different from something that may have fit along this line of kind of an undead parental figure, saving the family and those types of things. Like issue 2 is definitely a little bit more relatable, at least from my perspective. But the undead father protector storyline, I'm intrigued to kind of where it goes. And I like the time period that they're in, especially in kind of that war-torn France period. So curious, if you want something, horror is massive right now for a lot of books, especially indie books. I do recommend Corpse Night. It's been good so far. Going back to Marvel Ultimate Impact Reborn issue number 2, Christopher Condon and Stefano Caselli. Issue number 1 was a mess, in my opinion. It was a mess, especially coming out in the week that we had Weapons of Armageddon issue number 4. I was very underwhelmed with what they did for this issue. Hero Scroll is going to be picking up this week. I'm not picking it up this week. I'll kind of get, some feelers from kind of how he's feeling about it. But basically, with the origin boxes scattered, new heroes and villains rise across the Marvel Universe. Miles Morales races to undo the damage, but is it too late? And a new threat from the Ultimate U is at large, aiming the Ultimate Negabands right at the Punisher's face. And I think that's the new villain that they're referring to, Hostilicus. Obviously, with the Punisher being in it, that's great. Definitely some brand synergy from that perspective with the Punisher, with the one shot in the show. Daredevil, even though he's not in it, Punisher is top of mind for a lot of people. And then being, in a Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day as well as kind of, one of Mr. Negative's corrupted at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. With the Ultimate Universe ending and then having this kind of be the bridge, I don't feel it. Maybe that's just because I wasn't really into the end of Ultimate Endgame and those types of stories, and I don't really care about the origin boxes that Miles got. I thought the way that they handled Miles in issue 1 was just dumb, but we'll see. We'll see. Jury's out. Jury's out. But then, last but not least, Doom Quest #2. Ryan North on the story, Francisco Mobley on art. Doom is unsinkable. Dr. Doom has been sent back in time without his armor and without any technology, but with the only thing he's ever needed, his mind. Unfortunately, the date he's been sent to is April 15th, 1912, and the place he's been sent to is the North Atlantic, and the name of the ship he now finds himself on is the RMS Titanic. I almost put this in the top 5. This was very close to being into it. I love what Ryan North is doing, and the fact that, again, I don't care if it's the season of Doom, the year of Doom, RDJ Doom, all that sort of stuff. The way that Ryan North is writing Doom, I'm so interested. Doom is one of my favorite characters, but basically stripping him all the way down, throwing him back in time, and he still has his mind intact, so he's going to do something wild. I don't think you need to know anything about this book. Just jump on it. Just jump on it. Read it. We did the blind bag, which, by the way, actually turned out to have a really cool variant cover in there. It was a black and white. Forget the name of the artist who did that. Forgive me. But that was actually a really, really cool cover. I wish it was kind of the A cover. But this cover was sweet. This cover was sweet. I enjoy the story. Doom Quest #2. A lot of fun stuff that's going to be with that. But basically, y'all, that's this week's top 5. We had Absolute Superman. We had Absolute Wonder Woman, Zatanna, Fireborn, Captain America. Do not sleep on Doom Quest. It is a very good story for issue 1. Issue 2 should be all the same. But basically, let me know what you're going to be picking up this week. Let me know in the comments. Big week. So check back here, y'all. If you're not subscribed, do so if you like this content. We're going to be doing this every single week. So come back here, join us. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you in the next one.